Hello, everyone. We
Shut
are.
up.
Oh boy, this is not starting off well.
We are back for episode 8 of Put a Fork in It, and we have our guest tonight, Amit from Hawkett Podcast. How are you tonight, Amit?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on.
We are so excited to have you all to ourselves. So, okay, my first question for you is: you seem like such a nice, kind-hearted, and patient person. Why do you hang out with us?
That's a hell of a question.
Because you guys are awesome. The people who I met, here's the thing: the people I met in the podcast community, I don't know, they're kind of weird to me. You, Adam, Doug, Paul, Michael Oxford, Forrest Mommy, all you guys are awesome.
Yeah, we are.
So obviously, like, when did you come across Forrest Mommy? Because I know that's how you came across all of us. When did you come across her?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think this was last year in I don't know. I think she came on Chrissy Mayr's podcast. I think she may have done that, or I saw her tweets come up when Chrissy Mayer was retweeting her tweets. I was like, "Who's this Forrest Mommy chick? She seems kind of cool. Like, I'm gonna follow her." And then after she started talking about before she got into her political side, just her jokes and stuff, I was like, I need to have her on my show to learn about more who she is.
I think one of my favorite things about you is how curious you are to get to know so many different types of people. Oh my gosh. So I should be able to bring this.
Oh, crap.
What happened?
Hang on. We got to get. Paul, how do I make this go up on here?
Thank you, St. Michael. Thank you.
Thank you, St. Michael. We can't figure out how to make it come up.
Stoner, sorry we were late, dude. I mean, come on, man. Jeez.
Okay, so you grew up in California your whole life. Okay.
That's correct, yes.
Did you go to public school out there, or did you go to private school?
Oh my God, I went to public school, and I regret it. Only reason why I went was in '96 I got a kidney transplant. So
Yeah.
I had to have a nurse 24/7 or during the school time. So in case anything came up, I can go see her, and then she can take care of me, and then she could contact my parents to bring me home.
How old were you when you got the transplant?
I was 4 years old.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I didn't know you were that young.
I was young.
Oh my God. Do you have memories of it? Like,
no.
Wow, you really blocked out the bad on that.
Oh, you're too good to us.
Oh my God, you guys, I'm gonna cry.
Like, for real, she'll cry.
No, I'm really gonna cry.
Jess wants to know if you stole the kidney.
No, I'm not sure who the donor was. It was someone young. That's all I know. That's all what the hospital provided to my parents when I got it done.
Oh man, how scary that must have been for your mom and your dad, especially your mom. Like, not that dads don't get scared, but mom's like going to
Yeah, my mom took care of me a lot.
Huh?
I said my mom took care of me a lot.
Yeah, like that's
because before the transplant, I was placed on dialysis. This was in 1984 or 5 when the Northridge earthquake happened here. So my mom would tell me that she would take care of me out with the machine when it occurred.
Wow. I did not know you were that young when that happened. Oh my gosh. I'm just so happy you're here. Not that it's not scary if you're older, but like 4 years old, that's a little baby.
Do you still have not setbacks, but like, are there still concerns, or like, did your body fully accept it? Like, are you 100% good with that now?
I've had some instances where I did my mistake on my own. There was one time in 2006, me and my family, we all went to India because that's where I was born here, but we're Indian, so we're originally from India. My parents are, my sister are. So we went to a water park there, probably bad mistake of me going in there, someone who has a transplant. You know those water parks that have the rolling tides where everybody goes into like one of those pools?
Like a pool, like a wave pool.
Yeah,
A wave? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
because there's also those ones that spin.
Yeah, it's the one that it comes up to you and you're like at the very end of the thing. So I went in there, thought I wouldn't get hit by it, and then a wave came. I swallowed the dirty water that was everybody else was in. So I ended up getting very sick the next 2 days after, and then I had to get admitted. Then I had to get in the hospital where my grandmother used to live, and get transported to the main city, which was in New Delhi.
Did he freeze? You're frozen.
You still with us, Amit?
Are you guys hearing Amit? It's like the funniest frozen part too. Oh, hi Shannon. I didn't see you. I know. I have this big thing to look at chats
All
now.
right, so I got a bone to pick here. Hang on. Where'd she go?
Amit, if you can hear us and you need to, just leave and come back.
You guys are going way too fast for me to scroll and click and stuff, guys.
Paul, do you know what's going on?
So there's a place for both now, okay? Anybody ever seen John Q with Denzel?
It's a good movie.
Moms don't go and take a hospital, shut down a hospital so their kid can get a transplant or whatever was the storyline.
But a mom would if she had to.
It's California, so the power might have gone out.
Okay, we'll just.
Super producer Paul there.
It's just like I'll just pop in, then pop back out, and leave you assholes sitting there. Oh wait, I'm not supposed. Paul doesn't like it when I get up in the camera. Okay.
Sounds
Awesome.
racist. Ah.
Okay. Well, hopefully we get Amit back. I've been so excited about this all week. I keep talking to Adam like I can't wait to have Amit to myself because I love him so much. I just love his energy and his vibes and stuff. So today,
You're frozen too. Is it our internet? But we're not frozen.
is everybody fucking with us right now? What the fuck is going on? Are you guys fucking
And
with us?
save.
You coming in? So
No,
so
I saw. Let me go get my glasses. I'll be right back.
I do have a question though for everybody that's in the chat. How do we sound? Do we sound better, Randy?
It's clearly not Adam.
Is that true?
No.
I was laying down watching, listening to the feed because I'm half asleep. Mom and Dad made smoked ribs for Paul and I, and so I was half asleep and listening. And then I heard him freeze up, and I heard you guys talking. I'm like, I guess I'll go use my basic economics knowledge to save a meat's ass
Yeah, there you go. Basic economics knowledge. Pay your internet provider.
until he gets back. At least I don't want to upstage him because I was enjoying listening to him.
Right? Like we never get to like talk to him meet.
Yeah, he's like the unknown.
Yeah, he's always interviewing us and we and we never get to
You sounding good there, Mr. Thugless?
You sound excellent. You sound really good.
I changed my Twitter handle to Sir Thick Audio Adam.
There you go, buddy.
So today, Paul and I we get the Rumble stream set up, and then later on, I was working with the monitors, trying to get the monitors set up. So
Thank you, St. Michael.
So
I see what he wrote.
Oh,
in there.
there
That's
we
funny.
go. There we go.
oh, okay.
Is he back?
Yeah.
Okay. Have fun, guys. I'll see you later.
Later, Doug. Thanks, buddy.
Doug.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's
Oh, that's
okay.
all right.
My family decides, oh, let's have someone over to have security cameras placed in, and then turn off the internet in meantime in the wild. I even told them I'm going on a show at 5:00. Don't mess with the internet.
Parents and internet fans. Like, I remember back in the day, we had, you had dial up, and you would be like, and we only had it for a little bit because my parents weren't big on it having internet. And we would tell my mom, like, don't pick up the phone while we're like downloading this or while we're printing this. And she would pick up the phone and then it cancels.
Yeah.
That's how it was. So I think you were saying about how you swallowed the pool water.
Yeah. So I swallowed the pool water, and then I ended up getting severely sick, which 2 days after I got admitted to the local hospital where my grandmother used to live, then nothing really helped. So I got admitted to another hospital in the main city of Delhi. Stayed there probably for like a few days, and then I had to come back quickly back to the U.S. to get admitted to UCLA for like 10 days.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
Jesus.
Wow. And so because of that, you can't drink. You can't. Do you have to follow a certain diet too? Like, is there foods you can't eat because of that, or?
Well, during that time, no, because I was eating anything I wanted to. I was an unhealthy kid. I eat anything I want.
Oh my god!
So do you have two? Is that the transplanted kidney? Is that your only kidney, or do you still have you have one that a stock one?
No, I only have one.
Oh, so you don't.
Wow.
Yeah. That happens a lot, though. I think that's one of the more common ones is the kidney, the kidney transplant.
No, actually it's liver. That's more.
What's more?
Livers.
Liver transplant.
Oh, that's because people are such alcoholics they can't fucking put their beer.
So that happened with the pool water. That happened in India.
Well, let me continue on. So after I got admitted 10 days into the hospital, then come to find out I caught rotavirus, which is a gastro bug, a severe gastro bug, which if I didn't get treated right away, I probably could have damaged my kidney with the infection.
Oh my god!
But this happened while you were in India. That the pool or the water park was in India when you swallowed the water.
Yeah.
And then you had to, like we tell our kids not to swallow that water.
Right. I got a question that I don't know. I'm just going to ask it. So you said you had to come back here to get to the UCLA Medical Center. So you were essentially rushed because you had to get there to get treated, right?
That's correct. Yes.
So just a question here: are the hospitals not great in India, but the doctors are because they come here?
No, the doctors there in India were not that great. Well,
because all the good ones come here.
No, I saw doctors here. They communicated with the doctors at UCLA back and forth to see what they could do as treatment, and they couldn't do anything. So I had to get rushed back to UCLA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just didn't have the means to take care of what was ailing you.
Oh.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
God. I freaked out because when Scarlett was little, she had the skin issues and they couldn't figure it out. And I was panicking because
Dad had to step in and start bitching at the doctors because they said they weren't going to do nothing. And Dad was like, don't make me go all John Q. Shannon.
It's a true story. It's a true story. Like, yeah, I mean, it was insane. And I was scared because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I, as a mom, I'm sitting there thinking about all these things that could be wrong, because you'll like think of like a talk show and a mom was like, oh, they just had a rash, and then it turned out it was cancer, and then I'm like, oh my god. But it was just basically, it's kind of a form of eczema, or the way they explain it, it's like a cradle cap, how babies get on the head. It spread, like, I mean, it was,
She had like this like blister.
it's and everybody's like, oh, it's just it's a milk
Pump. But yeah, she had like this blister that was like almost all the way around her neck, and like just from moisture getting in the fold that she had on her neck, and it popped, and then it just like her whole, I don't even, we might have a picture of it somewhere, but her
it was in
head,
her
face,
armpits,
arms, and it still kind of bothers her to this day.
Yeah, she still has issues with her scalp because of it. And then Grayson, he had to get his arm reset because he broke his arm his forearm when he was little. So he had to be put under because it was like this. So they had to put him under to get it back. And then he was tongue-tied, which can be a big deal. But
Oh, I can't do that.
he was having issues eating and drinking. So we were like, something has to be done. So I was just scared because he had to go under and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just like thinking about like your parents, and that's crazy. You just don't remember like any of it. That's
Well,
good
I didn't
though.
spell it right, but aberration.
I don't know what you're trying to spell. So do you like being in California your whole life? Like, we all make jokes about California and stuff like that. Have you noticed people change in California over the years?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Dave, I don't know, the vibe. I'm an empath, so I feel people's vibe whenever I go out. It's been very off since the whole like pandemic took place here. People still wear their face diapers, still to this day, even after they drop the mandate. You see a couple of randomly just wear those things still.
So St. Mike, we don't know exactly how to pull these up, so I'm just going to read them. St. Michael put a $5 super chat in. He wants to know if you had to do dialysis. And more importantly, can you do an Indian accent?
him and Jess are both
Indian accent for you.
him and Jess both ask that. These damn fucking racist.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
Oh my goodness. So do you want to stay in California because you like your family's there and it's what you know?
Daniel.
I've been thinking about moving. Here's my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how long it took you guys to drive a vehicle, but for me, I get terrified of driving. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very terrified of driving. People here don't know how to drive. And you remember in high school, they used to have this crash. They used to have this local cops come with the crash vehicles to tell
in front of the school.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. Ever since then, it's been like, I don't know. It just like seeing that images back in high school. It's like terrified me for some reason.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about me, Emmy? I don't drive. I have driven. I know how to drive. I don't drive. I don't like driving. I don't. And we work out perfect because he doesn't like other people to drive him.
I don't let other people drive me.
But yeah, I don't like things moving and things coming at me, and I don't know where I got that from because I used to be really excited to learn how to drive, and then I slowly just really got more anxiety about it. And
because when I took driving lessons, we have like many driving schools here. When I first was going to get my driver's license, I drove with them really well. But once I got my driver's license and then we moved on with the classes, I don't know, I have anxiety to drive.
Have you thought about taking a Xanax?
Before you drive? Oh. You just eat a Xanny and then go on a roadie.
Dude,
they have cliffs and shit, man, and you ain't just crashing into a tree.
That's what you and Mel used to say to me. They're like, we'll just give you a Xanax and you'll totally be calm for the test. And I'm like, I don't think that's gonna work the way you think it's gonna
So at work we have a parking lot at work, and I would, every time she would go to take her test,
You're not going to tell that.
She would, yes, I am. She would, we'd go and practice at work. I'd, go home, pick her up. We'd go back to the shop. If this was before we had kids, and I'd get a 6-pack of beer. I'd set the cones up for her, and here you go, practice. She would slay it. Like, she'd do good. And especially when Soldier Boy came on, she'd bump in some Soldier Boy, just whipping in and out of that maneuverability part. She would always pass the actual on-road driving exam. Her downfall would be the actual maneuverability. They set 5 cones up, 4 in like a rectangle, and then 1 in front as a point cone. You got to stop, with your bumper kind of lined up with it and just maneuver back and forth. And her anxiety would get the best of her. And yeah, and if you hit the cone once, you're done. If the instructor wanted to, felt nice, they could say, go ahead, give it another try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say with me, I got lucky. I think I took the driving test just twice, but the written test took me forever. I think, the second time I flew with flying colors, I didn't make any mistakes. I don't know. For some reason, I'm terrified to get behind the wheels.
Well, you can overcome it. You can. I mean, unless you find a guy like Adam to drive you around. But no, I do think you should. Like, one of his little cousins doesn't drive. She's in her 20s, and I'm just like, you got to get her to drive. Like, I don't want her to get.
She's actually gonna.
Okay, like, because I'm like, I don't want her to get, not like that. I feel like stuck, but she's in a much different situation than I was in. You know what I mean? Just kind of like how you feel like to leave the state. You feel like you need to drive. And I get it. I was about to ask you something else.
It's okay because I get behind people. I do a lot of driving, especially in the wintertime. I plow snow, I salt. Makes me hate other people even more. Not everybody should drive, but at the same time, I don't think you should need a license to drive. I think you should just be able to drive.
Oh yeah, speaking of driving in India, it's a completely different story. They let their kids drive. I think when they get a certain age, it's like, okay, go get the car keys. We're gonna go go practice driving. And in there, you don't even take a driving test. I think now you do, but before that, you didn't have to do any of that. You would just get a fake ID, and you were good to go. Or you paid someone at the office, local city office, to get the paper.
Where was this?
In India.
Oh, no kidding. So at work, we get guys from south of the border through a government program, all total legit. But they're like, yeah, we asked, can you drive? And they're like, yeah, we could drive. And then, okay, well, we got to go, you got to go pass a test. And they're like, test? What do you mean test? Like, you need a license. Like in Mexico, they have driver's license, but it don't matter, because if you have a license or not, you get pulled over. If you don't have money to, give the cops, you're fucked anyway.
Oh, yeah. So you might as well just save your money and give it to them. So when I used to work at Burger King, I had a few friends there that were from India, and they would always make fun of me when it would come to directions, but they said I would fit in really good in India because there's not like street signs. And they're like, you would fit in so well. You would be like, oh yeah, it's a left by that house that's yellow. And if you go down that street, you'll see a green car. Go a little bit past that. They were like, you'd fit in great, Alice.
Yeah, that's literally how everything they explain to you is literally how that happens. They don't have any street signs, and you can drive pretty much all over the road. There's usually motorcycles, like, I don't know what they're called. I can't think of the name right now, but those kinds of vehicles, motor vehicles, buses, you're all like in one driving lane. You have 5 things around you, and then you have cows and dogs. And the thing they do there in India is they honk. So they let you know that they're coming. Here, you can't do that. Because somebody will probably like get out of the car, whoop your ass.
Yeah, the horn is one of the most misused communication devices.
Oh my God, Saint Michael! You'll want to turn left, but don't.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't
I
have any. They don't have. It's completely different lifestyle there in India than is here. I mean, now it's got more modernized, but if you go like in like the small towns, it's like completely different.
my friends, when I worked at Burger King that were from India, they were a little younger, like teenagers, like 18, 19, and they would send the girls shoes from here to India because they didn't have like all those different types of shoes. So like their cousins and stuff would be like, "Can you go and get me these kind of shoes and these kind of shoes?" And then sometimes they would ask me my opinion and I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I own like 3 pairs of shoes, bro."
That's very true. But here's the thing: there, here it's cheap. There, it's usually very expensive for them to buy.
Okay.
So if you convert like the currency, it's cheaper for me to go to India than someone to come here.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Mhm.
That's it. That's crazy though. They have such nice clothes though.
Yeah,
They do.
do.
Um like when one of the guys, his cousin got married and he was showing me like all the pictures of the wedding, I was like, can I have a wedding like that? I mean, I'm not
Some
Indian, but
people they go all out on their weddings, and then the brides will wear very nice dresses.
yeah, I mean, but a lot of people do that here, but it's like,
Oh no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about people who can like afford a wedding, like those
okay.
millionaire people. They go all out on the wedding. And for me, I'm not that kind of person. If I get married in the future, no, because Indian. Okay, speaking of weddings, Indian weddings are 5 days.
5 days?
Yeah, 5 days. Like Christians are only like you go to church, you do your vows, and you're done. Indian weddings are like you have 5 day things.
We went to a hall, said our vows, and got drunk. Well, I mean, at least I did.
Yeah, well, so I was raised Catholic, but we didn't have a Catholic wedding. We still had like Christianity be a part of it out of respect for my family. But yeah, we went to a Catholic wedding, and I was sitting next to one of the
It was
bridesmaids,
brutal.
from my wedding, and we were in there forever, and it was hot. It was so hot. And I looked at my friend who was my bridesmaid. I'm like, "See, aren't you glad I'm not fucking Catholic anymore? Because we'd still be at my wedding waiting for it." And she's like, "I know, they've been married for like a fucking hour already, and we're still fucking here."
Still in the church.
It goes on and on. Same with like Catholic funerals. So God, 5 days. I could hardly.
I've gone to India like the last couple of years and have my family members, relatives get married. It's like it starts from like 8 o'clock in the afternoon. Wait, no. Yeah. 8 o'clock at night and then goes until like 5 in the morning. And my mom has stayed up and watched the whole thing.
I couldn't do it. I was stressing, and Adam and I.
And it's not and what
Yeah.
sucks about it is if you're going into the winter time during a wedding, it's freezing. So you better wear warm clothes.
Yeah, or if it,
Because some people, like a lot of people do it differently in India, but if you're like from like a small town, you do it like at a school. So usually it's all open like school ground. So it's usually like open. So you better be prepared for a brutal cold night.
yeah, that's like fucking torture to get married. I guess you better take it serious when you do. I mean, I do think I don't think you should have to spend a lot of money on a wedding, but I do think marriage should be celebrated. I do. I think when you gloss over such big things in your life and kind of make it no big deal, I don't think that's healthy. But at the same time, like the money that some people spend on a wedding
It's ridiculous.
it's insane to me. So we had a lot of friends get married about the same time we did. Our whole wedding cost like $6,000, like the whole fucking thing.
How many of your friends are still married with each other? That's what I want to know, because I feel like people who go all out, their relationship dies after like a couple of years. They go through like a honeymoon phase with their like wedding, and and like married life, and then they get sick and tired of the person and they move on. I'm not talking about you two because you two are perfect.
So when we got together, I was living with a friend of mine, and he was with his girlfriend for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. I proposed to her, and
because I wasn't living in sin no more.
my buddy's girlfriend was like, "Oh no, Adam and Alice are getting married. We have to go get married before they do." Mm-hmm. So they went and I wouldn't say rushed. They rushed the wedding, but they didn't like rush into their relationship. But yeah, they're divorced.
Yeah, but our friends that had the really big weddings aren't divorced. I would definitely say like, no,
yeah,
they won't. I can't really.
The Catholic wedding that she was talking about, those they'll stay together. They're a good match.
But the other one, well, we didn't go to it, but I mean, they weren't even happy when they were just a couple.
Right.
So I don't know. But then, I mean, I have friends that got married because they were pregnant and they're divorced. But yeah, I think it's like, to me, see, I think it's both. I think if you go so all out, you know, I think too many people want a wedding and not a marriage. You know, not that I wasn't excited.
People want to show off. That's another thing.
Yeah. And I didn't want to show off.
I'm not the show off type at all. If I have a wedding, it's going to be probably very small.
Yeah, ours was pretty small. I have a big family, so that like even like my closer relatives, and then most of my family was still living. Like my granny was still alive, and she was like 80 something years old, you know. So I mean, it was like in a small room, and then the hall was in the same spot. But everything we did was really basic. When we had to pick out the centerpieces, my aunt had died a couple months before and I took it really hard. So I just looked at Adam and I'm like, I don't care. Just like pick a fucking centerpiece because I don't care. And Adam just picked these basic little centerpieces to have on the table. And then another thing is they were like, do you want to have whites on your chair? And I'm like, do I want a what on my chair? And they're like, do you want white cloth over the chair? And I'm like, how much does that cost? And they're like $250 a chair. And I'm like, fuck no, I don't want it. And then when it came to party favors or whatever that people give out at weddings, I don't know if that's common but
no, not in Indian weddings. I mean, maybe now there is, but like small traditional weddings, like you go into like the mountainside, it's completely different what goes on in the city. Like a whole 10 times different. Oh yeah. Speaking of death, so let's say a family member does pass away closer to your wedding date, you have to postpone it for a year. That's a thing. Where my grandmother is from, her whole family is one of her relatives passes away. My grandmother's no longer with me, but if any of our older relatives pass away, then they have to wait a year to get married.
Dude, nobody in my family would have been allowed to get married for like 4 years. That's wild.
It's like a thing.
First Shot, it said, I think they give gold as wedding gifts in India. I don't know.
Yeah, they give a lot and they ask for a lot, which is absolutely freaking stupid. Especially if they know you're like really wealthy and they're kind of like middle class, they'll ask you for an arm and a leg, like a TV, a motorcycle, a brand new car. Yeah, some people are like that.
That's insane. Yeah, like we didn't give out party favors at our wedding because I was like, I'm buying you dinner
and getting you drunk.
And aren't I thanking you in the thank you aisle? And my sister's like, you have to give party favors. And I'm like, I don't have to do anything. And then our wedding invitations were like the most basic ones you could pick. I showed 2 different ones to Adam. And I'm like, which one do you like? I can't decide. He was like, which one's cheaper? And I'm like, this one by like $10. He's like, that one. And then, yeah, they were just like, they were like postcards. that wasn't the part that was important to me. I wanted my family to be there. I wanted a somewhat traditional wedding where we had like the DJ afterwards. My family loves to dance and be together like that. So I really wanted that aspect. I didn't want a fancy dress. I wanted like a simple, like white gown. And my mom picks out this wedding dress, and my sisters are like, just try on the one that mom picked out first so we can get it out of the way. I tried on, everybody starts crying. They're like, that's the dress, that's it. And it was. I looked amazing, right?
Yes, you did.
I looked fucking good.
Is that
You
the
look
one
really
that
good at the re-wedding too. You know.
Paul used for as your thing on Rumble when you did the wedding anniversary video?
What about that?
Is that the picture that Paul used for the cover art when he released the
That was that
Yeah,
that
the-
re-wedding, but
But then the
re-wedding,
cover
that's
art, yeah, is from our actual wedding where I had the dark hair. That's my natural hair color.
I had hair too.
Yeah, I made him go to a salon.
She made me go to a chick salon to get my hair cut from. Well, I knew the girl. She was engaged or dating. She's now married to one of my buddies that I played softball with.
Yeah, she did great hair. Like,
She was very talented and very good at what she did.
so good at what she does that I can't afford to go to her anymore. I haven't been to, it'll be 8 years that I've been to a hairdresser.
Funny story about that salon. She went to go get her hair cut after Scarlett was born. Scar was maybe a year old.
Oh, but I was getting my hair like done, ladies, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like done. You know, so like I dropped her off, went for a cruise with Scar,
like color,
came back. She still wasn't done.
all that stuff?
Oh yeah, like I was getting trims, I was getting low lights, highlights.
So this place, like for real, was like a 4-reel salon kind of thing, and they had they did massages. So there was like rooms that the massages were done in, and I wasn't gonna sit there with my screaming baby, you know, or loud baby. She wasn't screaming, you know, in the lobby. So my friend said, dude, just go hang out in one of the massage rooms over there and wait for Alice. So Scar and I went in there, and oh my God, she took the nastiest dump, man. So I had to like change her diaper in this massage room, this like yuppie ass like place, and it just insta stink. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, I can't open any of these windows. Like it was starting to creep out into like the rest of the salon, and I felt so bad. So I strapped Scar in her car seat, left her in the room, and I went to the front door, and I just opened the door, just trying to get some ventilation. I've never gotten a pedicure there, Stoner. Never. No, I bite my fingernails.
I do the same thing. Don't worry.
Oh man, my fingernails are hit. Especially like I'll smash them or break a finger. My fingernail will turn purple. 6 weeks later, I'm like gnawing the whole damn thing off. No, Forest Mommy, men should not get mani-pedis.
I got it. I got a couple of them a long time ago, but not anymore. They're relaxing. I'll say that.
For our one friend is a masseuse. I don't know if she still does it, but as our wedding gift, her and someone else, another masseuse that she knows, gave Alice and I massages. And like I'm not big on people touching me.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was definitely weird. At least I knew her, so like it wasn't like a stranger touching me. But it was awesome. It was well worth the awkwardness to get a massage. And then a few years ago, I hurt my back, and I was going to a chiropractor. And after every treatment I got from the chiropractor, I would get like a 15-minute massage, and it was great.
Butt massages are the best. You would never think your butt is that sore, and then you get a butt massage, and you're just like, holy crap, that's like one of the best things in the world. You have no idea how much is there in your tushy tush. You really don't.
Mm-hmm.
You put a lot of stress on your tush. People don't, even when whether you're sitting, standing, there's like
even working out, because some of the exercises you have to do, like a lot of like core and like core workouts and leg workouts evolve your ass.
Yeah, and your ass gets
Gluteus
sore.
maximus.
Exactly.
I used to do that like Tai Chi stuff too all the time.
I just push wheelbarrows and carry heavy things at work.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Kitty wants to say hi.
Oh, so cute.
This is our Philly bear. This is the only cat Adam doesn't like that much.
Even though he's an cat, like he lives his cat life. Like I wish I could live my real
Hold on,
life.
I'm gonna bring my cat. Just wait a second. I'll bring him.
Okay.
He's kind of sleeping. I'm gonna pick him up.
Cat's gonna be like, what the fuck? First, you get like, oh, look at the kitty. Look at Philly. There's another kitty.
Kind of looks like Shooter.
He does. Do you ever see the pictures he takes of
Yep.
his cat? They're so pretty. And he's got those pretty green eyes too. Cats rule.
Most cats are cute or whatnot. I've only seen one cat that really wasn't cute, and that was Boomer. Cat was ugly as sin.
Cat was not ugly. I mean,
He had like a smushed face. It looked like a.
he was like this, but with a smush face.
Yeah, he was actually he was sleeping, so I woke him up. Nice.
Oh, he was pissed.
Yeah,
What are you doing, man?
So, do you want to get married and have kids?
I
Because
do.
because like some people
Yeah,
that
I'm not those types of dudes that go, I don't want to get married and have kids. I do want to have a family in the future. If I can actually like reproduce, because I've read people at kidney transplants and take like anti-rejection medicines, they have a hard time like reproducing their sperm with another person.
no
Oh no
kidding.
shit.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's what I'm most worried about. I read about that. Like, oh shit. Someone who, whenever future partner I get, I have to tell her that.
Yeah, I mean, be honest. You know, can you have that tested?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Like, yeah, like I mean, can you like how men do that? How they go to those places and they find out like if their sperm is working, if they have like a high sperm count, and do we have any nurses or doctors in
But
here?
Paul, you talk shit about cats and drink Michelob Ultra Light. So
Yeah, I think you can do that. It's probably costs a lot, especially in California. It probably costs like, well, I don't know. They might give it to you.
I'm
for
not
free.
even sure. I have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
I'm not sure.
So when it comes to a partner, is it important to you that she's Indian, or are you open?
Don't even bring the Indian part up, because most of the Indians are not like right wing or conservative, so we're like more liberal, and they're kind of dumb. No, I'll be honest with you, because I've had Indian friends in high school, and they were really, really stupid. I can tell how dumb they were. They were too full of themselves. Even the guys.
That
Yeah,
is
I knew a guy. He was Indian. In my senior year and junior year of high school, the friends he used to hang around with, I was like, no, I'm not gonna join their group, because most of the female friends he had were kind of like stuck up, and you can tell.
really.
Mhm.
Oh,
So do you know a lot of? How can
I gotta ask you, do I know a lot of conservatives who are Indians?
No, I was just gonna ask if you knew if you knew a lot of people that immigrated from India. Like, do you know, or not?
Well, my family immigrated from India.
Well, right, but like, do you know of other families, or do you have other family members that have?
My dad's brother's family has also.
Did they come at the same time as your parents?
My dad's brother was already here. He was working at a company locally around where I still live. I forgot the damn name of the company right now on top of my head. He was very smart. So my dad was like, okay, I'm going to come down there. We'll start our business together. And they just started their business at the same time I was born.
So the reason why I ask is because you said that they're not really conservative; they're more liberal. The guys that we get from Mexico, we've had like 4 out of the past 5 or 6 years, the same guys.
Mhm.
And my boss is trying to get what was that called? Nationalize, right?
Yeah.
Nationalize them here. It's a giant pain in the ass. It's nothing but a money grab.
Yeah, I agree with that. My parents had to wait like 5 years until they got their
Yeah,
citizenship.
it's a giant pain in the ass, man.
Mm.
I feel so bad for these dudes because they want to come here.
And my parents and my sister got lucky. They had a time during when they had like their cases were open, so they would like see them right away. So they got like lucky with that. But continue on what you were saying.
So what the point of what I was saying is that these guys that come here are far more conservative than a lot of liberals think that these people are that come from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to show them the guys like some of the crazy like the drag shows at libraries, like the trans stuff. Like I show this stuff to these guys and I'm like, is this in Mexico? And they're like, no. Like no, like people it's essentially it's just here, but yeah, they're more conservative than they are liberal. They want to keep their money. They think taxes are bullshit. They don't want any handouts. They want to earn their way here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I was, that's why I was asking, because you said that they're more liberal.
Yeah,
Well,
that is.
here's the thing. My dad's brother is more thinks of a liberal side of point of view, which is really stupid. And my dad's like not really he doesn't consider himself anything because he thinks also the government's really stupid.
Your dad sounds cool.
Based.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents?
Kind of. I'm not really open about it. I'm kind of.
Right on. I mean, I don't know. I think that's important. People have some fucked up parents, man. Some really fucked
Well,
up.
I've been spoiled throughout my childhood and until my adulthood still, so I do have a close relationship with my parents.
Right on.
It's like
I love
just
the
because you're hung like a
honesty.
moose doesn't mean you have to do porn.
I love the honesty. I've been spoiled, so I'm close to them. I'll keep them around. That's good stuff. I like it. Well, I think it's funny because so when I worked at Burger King and that was when I started to get more like, I think if I do get married and have kids, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I don't want to work. I used to be the like, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna be independent and I'm gonna be this, and then like the more I saw as I got older, how much the women I knew that were married and worked did. I was like, that doesn't look fun at all. That I think I'd rather stay home. And it was crazy. And I also helped take care of my dad. And the Ukrainians and the Indians and the Egyptians that I worked with all were like, oh, we didn't know American women like to do that kind of stuff, and a lot of their views of us were like Hollywood views. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we live in Ohio. Like people.
All right, so hang on. I got to say something. First, I can't pull this up, but when these dudes become citizens, they'll be paid plenty good, and they're genuine dudes. My boss is gonna have employees until these dudes drop dead.
And everybody at our valve renewal can vouch that they made really, really good food.
Oh man, it's like half the reason, most of the reason why I miss them. They would make me lunch. They bring me lunch every day. I'd have three of them. Like here, Hefe, eat this, eat this taco, that taco. You want a sandwich?
Well, Hispanic families are very like conservative in general, and they're very hard.
Right.
Very, very. My best friend her mom's Puerto Rican and her dad's black. And yeah, man, like she works, she hustles, and yeah, she's very conservative. And the guy that she had her kids with was just like not wanting that life of settling down and just still wanted to play around. I won't go like he was a douche, he was a dick.
I'm not that type of person. I've never been into that kind of thing.
Yeah, and
or like find someone and then stick with her.
Yeah,
Which is gonna be honest with you is very difficult nowadays.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not single. Oh my god.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I didn't like dating when I met Adam. I mean, so many guys just had this attitude, like either they didn't want to work, or if they were well off, they're like, I'll just pay all your bills,
Oh,
and
you put that up there already.
and you just take care of everything. And I'm just like, I want a partner, I want a best friend, I want somebody that's going to be there for me. And I mentioned this on your podcast when I was on. Some guys would meet my dad and see how kind of bad. I mean,
he was in a wheelchair. He was wheelchair bound.
Yeah, I mean, it struggled to talk, struggled with eating, couldn't use a regular bathroom. And they would see my dad and be like, I don't want anything to do with that. But that's part of a marriage, because I get it's different when you walk right into that. But I mean, your spouse's parents are going to get sick, and there's things you're going to have to do to be there for them. When my dad was dying, Adam had to do a lot. I mean, I was taking care of Grayson, changing my dad's diapers, changing my son's diapers, which is a real kind of mind fuck.
That is a total mind fuck.
It's very much a mind fuck to go from cleaning your dad up to cleaning your child up. And yeah, I mean, he stepped up. He was doing the school stuff. He was bringing home dinners, making dinners if he needed to. He was doing as much as he could. And I think a lot of, especially conservative guys, have this mentality like, well, I'm the breadwinner. And, now that the government can take care of, women, they don't want us. And it's like, well, maybe that should tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, back in the day, we were just talking about this. It was not as easy for a woman to be out on her own. My own aunt was like one of the first women to be buying a home. She left her abusive husband and bought a home, and that was very rare back then. So a lot of women stayed in situations that they didn't want to be in simply because they didn't have any other choices.
Yep.
So my thing to these conservative guys that are like, women don't want me, try being a better man. You bitch about women's emotions, but that's
good thing you brought that shit up. Oh my, I find it absolutely freaking annoying.
Dude, it's a part of a woman.
Here's the thing: you do that, and then you throw other guys under the bus. It's also the females do the same thing.
Yeah,
they throw all the guys under the bus, and they're like, "Okay, they're all the guys that do this." Not everyone does it. I don't, and if I do, it's out of respect and friendliness.
Well, before I met her, I was kind of a man whore. I mean, I was in my, mid-20s, and I mean, it's no secret, this. And I really, even before I met her, I really never had. I actually said it at our wedding. I think that I never expected to be a dad and a husband, a provider. Never before I met her did I think that I would be any of that, right? But we had how we were going to raise our kids named,
what kind of house we wanted.
Yeah, we had all this shit hashed out quick, within the first 3 or 4 dates. And we, especially her, because she's older than I am. She's like, I want to figure out if hanging out with you is going to be worth it, motherfucker. Like, how are we going to do this? And so it was and that's the only bit of relationship advice that I give to people when asked. I don't like unsolicited advice thrust upon me, so I don't put unsolicited advice on anybody. But if someone asks me how, I mean, I feel like Doug, I hit a pothole. Oh, hash everything out early. Figure out how you're going to raise them. All that shit.
And you'll still hit bumps in the road, but I think there's a lot of people who will be like, well, we just grew apart. And I'm like, well, and they're like, well, we're different people now. And it's like, well, of course you are, but you're supposed to love each other enough to figure out those things together. I am not the same person that I was 16 years ago. Neither is he.
Nope.
If you would have, if even 10 years ago, we weren't thinking about homeschooling or stuff like that. And that wasn't like a battle between me and you.
No.
We were just kind of like, we have to do this for our kids. Like, we have no choice. The thing that got me to it was we could sit here and fight the public school system all we want, but it's not going to be enough to keep our kids from it. And it wasn't a huge discussion.
Nope.
It was just kind of like, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to figure it out. And we did. But yeah, I see so many people that just, they don't want to work on marriage. We had a difficult time after my dad died. We had a very difficult time. And there was times where it wasn't like I was like, oh, we're going to end up divorced. But I was like, dude, I don't know if we're going to be as happy as I thought we were. But we actually ended up happier.
You ain't going that far there, Stoner. I don't remember half of them anyway.
Adam got taken advantage of by a girl that I was friends with.
Who, ironically enough, got drunk and said she got taken advantage of, even though she was the, not aggressor, but
she was the aggressor. Yeah. This girl, let me tell y'all, she gave one of my best friends a blowjob in the bathroom and then screwed the other one in my living room with my daughter sleeping right there.
Well, in the next room, not right there. Like, Scar was in her room.
She was like, yeah, I was not happy. This mama was not happy. But yeah, I was like, I just think, I think a lot of people need to stop making such generalizations about people. Like, men are this, women are this.
Right.
It's all women's foot. You know, women shouldn't be allowed to vote because look at what happened. I'm like, dude, we've had all male presidents.
Yeah, we have.
Men have voted in Republicans. And what did that get us? It got us like what? The Patriot Act, wars in Iraq. You know what I'm saying? So don't blame me because you're fucking stupid too. I mean, because I voted for
that. Okay, here's my thing. Half of the people that vote for these these candidates that run for president, it's probably not about their policies, but how they look. Yeah, just watch. 2024, I'm going to say this now. They're going to have Trump or DeSantis, whoever those two from the Republican side. They're going to have Gavin Newsom, who's the lame-ass governor of California, run against those two. And the people who are on the left are going to vote for him because the way he looks. And his policies are going to be very stupid because the policies he in place now here in California have been ridiculous. He's like destroyed the state.
Yeah, California's a beautiful state, but man, it's just.
Yeah, I went to California almost 20 years ago now. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I went to Mission Beach and there was this spot where it's just like, you know, there's some bars, there's like souvenir shops, weed shops, even back then. Well, like pipe shops and stuff. Head shops. I couldn't remember what they were called because I'm like old and I don't do these things anymore. And then they had, you know, like a little bakery with ice cream. And I remember sitting there by the ocean eating cookies and ice cream and stuff. And it was so quaint. And I guess now there's like poop there everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of homeless people. I like a lot.
Yeah, like
it's like, that's crazy if it's coming from California saying that.
I'm from the Valley, San Fernando Valley, and like after 2016 happened, there's been so many homeless people.
Paul, thank you.
Paul, you should hop back in and put that up so everybody can see it because I don't know how to do that shit. Now, that's lesson 2 of Adam's tech support.
I thought if it was a super chat, you could display it.
Oh. 3 dots. That's usually something. So do you find yourself? Do you think that you'll find a life partner from the pool that is California, or do you think you're going to have to go outside of California?
Outside of California.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you're welcome in Ohio. I don't know any single girls though. I mean, I do, but they already have kids.
See, a big problem with
and
single dudes.
And one of them is, God, as much as I love her, I think her lack of intelligence and how much intelligence you have.
Low opposites may attract.
Well, sometimes they do, because sometimes if you're not an intellectual snob, you won't laugh at people and make fun of them. You know what I mean? You'll look at it like, you know what, I really care about you, so I want to help you learn this and understand this, you know, in a way that you can understand.
Like the Book of Economics for Doug.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've seen a lot of people's problems, and I got a friend of mine that I work with. He's a good dude, great dude. The problem is he's a good looking dude, works.
He's a handsome
You
feller.
know, the problem is he expects too much out of women. Like I want
Does
a woman
he?
that's this, and this. You know what I mean? Like, well, same with Skipper. I want a woman that's going to do this, and this. I mean, I would say it to him. So I mean,
just like poor Steven Skipper right now. They're like,
women,
man.
You know, women too. Women are like, oh, I want a man that's 6'2", you know, 6 figures, you know, this, blah, blah.
I find it very obnoxiously annoying when women are like that. Like, then you need to go find someone that's really wealthy.
And see, the difference between the two, though, is women know what they're doing and know what they're saying. They know that, you know, that sounds shitty, but they're like, look at me, I'm hot. And, you know, dudes are just oblivious to it, you know, because she said earlier that I'm not that macho dude that like says I make the money, blah, blah. I used to be. When she first started staying home with the kids, because it even started before we had kids, because she would watch my nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him who yelled at you. My mom.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but she yelled at me too.
And it was just about having to come to an understanding of you know, like I spend all day outside. So when in the middle of summer, when it's 100 degrees outside, I'm outside for 8-10 hours a day. While I come home, she's like, well, let's go outside. I've been inside all day. And I'm like, I've been outside all day. You know, like it's just about an understanding. And most people will let their wants get into and interfere with really just what you need, you know?
Yeah. I definitely
unsolicited advice to all you degenerate motherfuckers.
I definitely think there's a lot of women who, you know, especially a guy like Adam, he is outside all day and he is doing hard labor all day. So I don't bother Adam with stupid shit. I just don't, you know, but he also realizes that, yeah, there might be days where he has a really long day and maybe I'm not feeling well, or because we have to redo the house. There's just stuff that I have to do. So you're going to have to watch the kids so that I can get this stuff done. It was just all figuring out the balance, but something I never do. And I had a girlfriend that would always be like, if I just got the tiny bit of annoyed with Adam, she'd be like, make that fucker sleep on the couch. And I was like, he's a grown man. Like, what would you say if your husband got pissed at you and told you to sleep your ass out on the couch? Like,
and she said that to me, and it's like, well, if you're that mad, you go sleep out on the fucking couch.
Yeah.
But we try to not go to bed, you know, mad at each other. I mean, might go to bed mad, but like at least
try and put it aside.
Kiss and make up.
Talk it out before you went to bed.
Yeah. Or if you're just tired and you don't feel like it's going to go anywhere, go to bed, put it aside, tell each other you love each other, calm down, and then talk about it later. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, but Adam and I have had our battles for sure. Mm-hmm. It happens.
It does. It does.
Well, unless you're my Aunt Alice and Uncle Dick, who have never raised their voice to each other in the 70 years that they were married. They never raised their voice to each other.
That's the most important part there, Randy. I can't read it or I can't put it up, but yes, the makeup sex.
Then have makeup sex. God, dirty turkeys, man. God.
Yep.
God, I mean, I hope so bad you find a nice woman.
So are you going to go to Vegas like in look for chicks?
I'm not okay. Here's the thing. I'm not into the whole Vegas thing. I find that whole Vegas thing kind of dumb. I'll be honest with you. I'm not into gambling at all.
Vegas is fun. Like, I'm not a big gambler either. Like, when we went, I didn't hit tables. We did slots, man. Maybe a little video poker.
Well, Vegas is different because there's like the shows and there's so many different things to see. One of my favorite things to do in Vegas is, especially, it's not Caesar's Palace, out on the Bellagio. I like to sit out on that patio and stuff. I think it was, you weren't there for that time, but I would love sitting there with a strawberry daiquiri and just people watching because, and me and
I'll probably do the same thing.
Yeah, it's so fun.
The people watching there is oh my god.
It is so fun. And then you can just walk down the street and go see a show and then sit down because they have like outdoor stuff that's free too. And even like walking through places, you'll find lounge singers that are really, really good. That's where I saw my first drag queen. I did not see a drag queen until I was in my 20s, and believe it or not, I'm totally fine. Like, I was still accepting and loving of people. I didn't have to see that. But yeah, that's like, and then me and my friend used to play a game when we were in Vegas. We would try and figure out, is it an escort or is she just hot?
Yeah, like I remember you telling me, is that his woman or is he paying for that?
Yeah, like,
because them dudes are like, they'll sit there and flick cards at you, like escort service cards. And when you're walking
down,
of them.
When you're walking down that, have you ever been there? They go like this, and they hand you this card real quick, and it's of hookers. I collected so many of them hooker cards.
And even if you're walking with the chick, man, they'll try to like hand it to you slyly. Someone will just be like, "Here you go, dude."
Oh, they just hand them to me. If I was kind of like away from my friend or from you, they'll hand them to the chick too. Like, yeah.
And you could drink walking down the street. Like, it was so weird for me, like walking down the strip with a beer in my hand. You see cops, and I'm like trying to hide it. Like, I said I want to go get my picture taken with the two cops, me just drinking a beer.
And fun fact to me, they make really good non-alcoholic, like, fun drinks there. Like, because sometimes you'll get
first.
Like, sometimes if you go places, the non-alcoholic drinks are terrible. But they're like really, really good. And they just have like specialty drinks without alcohol, and they're so good. They put whipped cream on them.
But they also have specialty drinks with alcohol for all the drinkers out there.
Well, and they put whipped cream on them.
Talk amongst yourself. I'm gonna go see where a cat went for a second because I'm not sure if the guy's still here. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll be back.
All right. So yes, first, Cleveland does have a casino. So does Toledo. So does Columbus. So does Cincinnati.
It kind of sucks though. It's not really that great of a casino.
It used to be a shopping store. I think it used to be the Higbee building.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not. I mean, it's not terrible.
Vegas is a good time. You can still have a good time in Vegas and not really gamble.
Yeah, I have fun with gambling, but it's more, it's not something I like to do often. Like when we went in Niagara Falls this past time, that's the first time we've been in a casino
since that night after Mom died. Your birthday, your birthday after Mom died.
Did you find the kitty?
Oh yeah, he's eating his food.
Okay. So did you have cats all growing up?
No, I had a dog when since when did we get it? 2007 or 8.
Paul. Dogs are cheap, cats are base, dude. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
You know, Paul, you actually pissed off like some mutual when you said that, because after you said that, she like subtweeted and said, I can't stand people that try and pin cats and dogs against each other. They are both beautiful animals that should be loved and adored by all of us. And I was like, I mean, it was a joke.
Because you're born to be a dictator, Paul. Pull up Paul's number. I want to call him.
I was like, but yeah, I'm like, I mean, we were just joking. Like, I hear what you're saying, you know, like I love my dog. I couldn't wait to have a dog. But we didn't want to have a dog before we bought a house because it was harder to move into rental places when you had a dog, especially a bigger dog. And we wanted a bigger dog. So after we bought this house, we started kind of actively trying to decide, what we were going to do as far as a dog. But yeah, we got Savannah. She'll be 2 years old actually. Like really soon. But yeah, we got her 2 years ago in June.
Yeah,
I love her.
I had my dog he just passed away recently in 2021.
Oh
No, not 21, 20 in the last few years. It's been actually 4 years. I don't remember. The last 3 years have been kind of like a blur.
Right? Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
We adopted the cat like last year.
You got the cat last year?
Yeah.
Did you get it as a kitten or was it big?
It was big. We don't know how old the cat is because we got him from the shelter and they don't have the right date when he was born.
Oh, they can usually kind of figure out, but yeah, sometimes it's hard. But that's sweet that you got an adult cat. We think about it sometimes, but then with rescuing cats, I've lost a lot of cats and it gets really, really hard to deal with sometimes. So sometimes it's, as much as I'd like to adopt an older cat, it really like he sees it, how much it weighs on me when we lose an animal. One of our feral cats was hit by a car, and oh my gosh, like I almost had him in tears because I was holding the cat just like screaming and sobbing. And then our older cat, he died in my arms on the way to the vet. And yeah, it's just it really, really weighs on you. But I still, at the same time, I would love to adopt like an older.
Did it? I fucking did it. God.
Let's go.
You gotta do it on there now though. You gotta
Hang on, there's one that I want. Oh, it's not. How come it's not?
You should be.
Well, I did it kind of. I just wanted to highlight first saying I'm a pussy lover. What can I say? That's funny.
Why do you hang out with these dirty turkeys?
It's like he said earlier, he was worried about insulting Hex. Hex is like one of the hardest people to insult. Like he'll just, if something really is insulting, he's just going to let it roll right off his back,
Yeah, I just like.
And hang on, and he's quiet, and we're all loud.
Yeah.
And you're like all like genuine and like a pure soul, and we're all fucking degenerates.
Well, I did say, so how like the sibling revelry does the knights table or knighting or whatever they do. So Adam said something about Hex, and I'm like, Hex is way too mature to be part of your guys' round table. So the one night we were talking on one of those streams, I'm not sure if you saw it, I was like, we should have a choir boy group and it should be a Meat and Hex should be the first members of that. I'm like, because they're so fucking good and we just are not.
Yeah, we're all a bunch of degenerates, man.
Yeah, Hex is such a sweetheart. One day I just messaged him and I'm like, I'm sorry to slide.
Yes, first, you are a degenerate.
I'm sorry to slide into your DMs, but I was just wondering.
Fucking Randy.
And we just started talking and we were like, we should all hang out one day. And I told him, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, like, I'm a really weird and awkward and goofy, like, person. So, meet me at your own risk. And he was like, I'm the same way. And we met up at a bar and yeah, been besties ever since. But yeah, Hex is a cool guy. Cannot wait to see your podcast with him. Because
he'll be coming on my show next Friday.
Are you going to do that one live or?
I'll do a live.
Okay. I like how you're doing like the lives and the pre-recordeds and And
Yeah,
you're
some of the
you're
guests I have-
spitting them out of me. You're spitting them podcasts out.
Yeah, I passed 100 episodes 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, I think. And then on Tuesday, wait, what was the third?
The third was yesterday.
No,
No,
today's the 7th.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was my
Monday.
birthday that day.
Monday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Monday.
You've been spitting them out of me. You've been doing
Hey,
Oh.
just because I don't know something, you guys shouldn't laugh because you guys asked me something. So you don't know either.
Someone took that very offensively.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Hex. We've had Hex at our house many times, and
Oh, our son loves him. Our son insists that he come to his birthday party.
yeah, actually, Hex belongs to the Boy King because when the Boy King refers to Hex, it's my Hex.
It's cute. He says but when he refers to Jess, he'll say, like, when he's talking to me, he'll be like, "That's your Jess," and I'm like, "That's my Jess. That's right. You can't have her, Mr. Hansy." I think Grayson, like, I don't think he realizes it, but he gets kind of like weird and flirty around some women. Remember him around Skipper's ex-girlfriend? And he was
Yeah.
just a little baby. He was not a little, but he was like
Yeah,
2.
but she always had her like tits damn near hanging out.
Yeah, but Jess doesn't have huge boobs. He just looked at her. He's like, "Hey,
Well,
blondie."
now he's getting older, so he's actually developing standards instead of just like 2 giant fun bags sitting in front of him.
He's probably like, "You like liberty, and I like to smash shit up."
Yeah. But it's going to be great watching you try to get, because your questions are always just
Well,
They're
I think
awesome,
it's gonna be
and-
fun because I've like sat and like picked at Hex before.
Right.
Like when we're hanging out. So I've asked Hex like lots of questions and I've said like such random things to him. And his reactions to people, like you can tell a lot of times you can tell what Hex is thinking on his face. Hex is the best, man. Like
But
Oh.
I have a feeling that you're gonna have to like kind of like
I have to pee.
not elaborate, but like keep
I'll
going
say
to get an answer to your question. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
because Hex, he's a quiet dude. He's let loose in my backyard a few times. You know what I mean? But that's usually like us, a little bit of a party setting kind of thing, some Maker's Mark. But yeah, he's a good dude, and don't worry about insulting Hex, because even if you were to insult him, he would just laugh. He would laugh it off because that's just him, you know.
I was just joking with him.
it,
I was just
it
joking.
was funny because you're like, I don't want to insult you, and it's like, Hex, you can insult Hex.
Yeah, I was just joking with him. I wasn't serious. It was a preview. See what he would like reaction would be in the chat.
That's actually, hang on a second, I got to plug this thing in before it dies.
Okay.
How oh, that's the wrong fucking charger. Hang on, bud. All right, sorry, man. We're
That's okay.
not exactly 100% ready for this, but so how do you come up with the questions that you ask your guests?
I research. That's a good question, actually. Sometimes if they ask me what the occupation is, it's easy for me to come up with questions. And sometimes I look them up on the web.
Because your questions, man, they're interesting. I'm excited to come on and get interrogated by you.
Don't put it like that. Now that sounds weird.
Well, I mean, like it kind of is, but it's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like you ask questions, you ask follow-up questions, you ask good questions to begin with, and then you ask good follow-up, questions too. It's just like I would never come up with like some of the questions that that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So well done, good job out of you.
Well, thank you.
See if I can do this again over here. Go through some chats.
Mm.
Sorry, Amit. I work with concrete, these computers and shit, and it's all soft and delicate. And there's not really too much delicate in my bones.
I'm laughing at One Shot's comment. He's
Oh
like,
shit! What did I do?
oh no, it's working.
That's actually not that bad right there. How about that?
I'm laughing at One Shot's comment. He said it would give me anxiety to be on. It would give me him anxiety to be grilled by me.
Yeah, first is just kind of a Sally. We're gonna get first on our show at one of these times here.
I'm actually gonna have St. Michael's come on in 2 weeks.
Oh, are you really?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. St. Mike's a good dude, man. Just make sure, you got to put it and preface it with, he's not allowed to sing.
Oh no, I'm gonna make him sing. Actually, good thing you brought that up. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna make him sing.
Forrest Mommy's like, I hate talking about myself because I'm just like, I'm hot. It is an honor to be an honorable mention. I don't know how I did this.
Oh, you just went to big screen.
Yeah, but I don't know what I did to do it.
You just exit. Full screen.
So where do you how do you picture your
I
dream wife? Your
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, I mean, if he's not going to find it in California, then I'll just keep my eye out in the streets of Cleveland, man. I'll take a week off. I'll come pick you up. I'll drive back,
I need to do that. Funny thing is, I had a friend who lives in Tennessee. She doesn't listen to the show. I told her something similar to this. Come kidnap me, take me with you, and show me around and bring me back. And I'll pay for gas and everything. I've told her that once.
Are you okay with flying?
Okay, here's the thing. Since the whole mask thing, I fuck that shit. I don't like flying, to be honest, because I've taken 15 to 14 hour flights to India. That's how long it takes from California. Because you have to fly from California to like a Middle Eastern country, stay there for a few hours so they can fuel up and have the passengers that are already waiting in the airport come on the flight and then travel. Then it takes another I think 5 hours to get to India from like Dubai, for example.
Jeez, that's a lot of flying.
Yeah, I don't like flying. I only flew once.
From here to Canada, it's like 2 hours from here to Vancouver, and then 8 hours to India, because it just goes directly upwards and comes down.
Really? It's only 2 hours?
No, from California to Vancouver is like an hour and a half flight because it's north.
Yeah.
So like Vancouver's
like LA, you're LA-ish area?
Yeah.
LA's here, Vancouver's like here.
Everybody in the chat's like, and great, she's homeschooling.
I don't mind flying. Like the like feeling of flying doesn't bother me. It's the like being packed in like a fucking sardine.
Yeah, I don't like not knowing who's driving me. I don't like really driving with other people. I'm the only person I'm really comfortable in a car with is Adam. That's pretty much it. So imagine me being on a plane where I can't at all see the person. And
honestly, it's kind of boring to go on a plane, especially if they don't have Wi-Fi or anything on it. And you don't have anything actually in your phone until you've downloaded before the flight.
Stop talking in the chat, people. God damn it, you're going too fast. Cruel Sparks, like I got detained in Canada before 9/11. I'm just wondering if someone put milk bones in her bag. Yeah, I mean, like music doesn't. I'm all right with. I think when I flew to Seattle, all I had was an MP3 player, and I was all right with that. We flew from Cleveland to Houston. Houston was a giant airport, and then I got to Seattle, and it's
You
like
guys
a whole
fucked
other
it up.
fucking country.
You fucking retards. You fucked it. Oh, you're all fucking it up.
Oh my goodness gracious! You know, I got you.
You gotta see. Do you see what they're doing? Can you see the Rumble chat?
I haven't pulled up. I guess.
This might make you feel uncomfortable. I mean,
Don't start blushing. You guys really fucked that one.
can't even spell. See how degenerate you guys are?
You forgot the E at the end of the word.
Absolutely none of you should be dropping the last.
So apparently,
Randy.
apparently, put a fork in it is you know, the test tube for what we can get away with on the chats in the FMU.
Oh, you know what? Paul is actually gone. So Paul and I did something different today when we set up the YouTube,
We have Tourette's.
and I'm wondering, have anybody in the YouTube? Oh, actually, you want to know? Okay.
Stoner, have all your chats that you've typed in and pressed enter come through, or have some gotten?
Nope. He said Amit is fucking hilarious, and that was hidden.
So again, your perfect
That's not-
scenario for a woman.
Oh man, that's hard. She has to be not crazy like some of these women are. I'll be honest with you.
Remember what I said about unrealistic expectations?
I'm not saying the answer to you. That's not answering your question. Someone who's caring, nice, and funny, and can tolerate my like side.
That should be the number one priority right there.
Oh, it's
Someone
so,
that can tolerate you.
well, and somebody that you can laugh with, man. Because I get, like, honestly,
Oh boy,
even
busted.
even on some of the worst days that me and him have had, we still laughed on those days.
Right.
We still laughed, you know, and they were bad days. Like, they were bad.
Stoner FM wants you to go to Rumble. I
Michael,
know I'm
I'll
not
send
Alice
you
Force Mommy, but
a link in a little bit if you want. I'm trying to get hours on YouTube. Well, because with YouTube, it's about how many hours you have, and then what else is it? It's hours
And views.
and views. So it's, I mean, granted, we're on Rumble now, but I still want to get our YouTube going. And do more with it, because I definitely agree with what Tactical said. TT said the one night. He said it's not that he has anything against Rumble, but it is kind of its own little bubble still right now. Like, it's still kind of a little bubble, and he likes to be able to reach people on YouTube, and I agree, you know. But if I get a,
he also kills it on YouTube. I mean,
he really does kill it on YouTube. But it might be. He really does kill it.
If he'd come on our show.
If TT would come on,
that'd be on you though.
Do you watch Terribly Tactical ever? Have you heard of him? Yeah.
No.
You were asking about you know, gun knowledge, right? In our thread the one day, he would be a good dude.
That is the best person for you to go to. When I first asked him about guns, he was like, he is so pro 2A, and he's so honest, you know, that he just, if you don't have a ton of money, he's gonna help you buy the best gun that you can get for that money, for what you need it for. And anytime I've asked him about guns, he's like, you can DM me, I don't care, I will answer any questions you have. Just, yeah, he's awesome. Next time he's streaming, I'll send you the link. He goes on kind of late on
You're a fucking
Sunday.
riot, Shannon.
She is funny. He goes on kind of late on Sundays, my time, but it's still pretty early.
Yeah, he's
your
in
time.
Illinois, just outside of Chicago, I believe.
Yeah, so he goes on pretty late, but I'll send you a link to his chat, or to his when he's up again. But yeah, he's good, man.
Ooh, that's a good question there first. Yeah, Paul. I just
When
asked
is-
Alice if she can get him on ours. So
Well, I invited myself on his, and he was like, "Oh," he told like, well, he said something about me coming on one day, and then I'm
but
like,
anytime he sees her in the chat, he's like, you should get your own stuff. You should come on my show.
yeah, he was very encouraging when I started streaming with Jess. Yeah, he was very encouraging. Like, you should do your own, get your own channel going, do your own thing too. And yeah, he's like, if your husband want to come on, because I told him the one night, I was like, when it gets warm out and I can like have some more energy, I was like, I'm gonna come and crash one of your late night streams drunk on a Sunday
Do
night.
it first. What are you doing, dude? Do it. Just go on there. Just do it, man.
First shot. If I went on with you, would you feel more comfortable? If I went on with you, Michael, I'm gonna send you a link here in a few minutes if you still want to come on.
I'd like to talk to Michael. Let him come on. I actually wanted Paul to come on tonight, but he's not around.
Well, they also had Doug's birthday dinner today, and they ate a bunch of steak and.
Oh, that's good.
I'll be your first. You can't joke like that with first.
Hang on, Michael. I'm.
Although first is all talk though.
First, would you like? Because first, I think you seem to feel more comfortable when there's a few people on a stream, and I get that. I definitely get that. So I'm just wondering if you would feel more comfortable if, like, maybe me and Adam were on there, Jess was on there, and maybe when you come on our show, you would feel more comfortable if, like, Paul and Doug were on with us. Yeah, like, hang on. Paul yelled at me.
What the fuck was I just gonna say? God damn it.
The other day because of me sending links to people because I fucked up a link the other day.
No, Shannon, he needs to have a shirt on. Oh, I thought for sure first we had Forest Mommy within less than 2 hours of first, and his punk ass still didn't come up.
Michael, I sent you a link.
Yeah, shy. You're not shy first.
Hey, I used to be shy. I used to go on another podcasters tavern type thing used to do, and if you would watch it, I would. Well, he doesn't have it live. He locked it under Patreon. But every time I went on it, I would just stare at them, and listen to them what they were talking.
When the first stream I ever did was with Jess and TT. Do you remember? And I got really bad anxiety, and my daughter kept bringing dishes into the kitchen. And I'm like, I can't be sitting here on a stream. I have to be a mom. And I got off, and then I went on a stream, and I was on a stream with Jess and a couple other people. And I really, really like the one dude, Liberty Dino. I don't know if you follow him, but I really, really liked him. Me and him, like, I just kind of clicked with him. Like, I said something about making rice and dog food, and I thought everybody was joking. And I'm like, no, you can really do that.
No, first isn't rich. His wife is.
So, but there was somebody on there that I just like, I didn't like, and I hated it. And I felt so uncomfortable because she was talking about like breaking down in grocery stores and getting all this anxiety. And listen, I get anxiety. I do. And I do get sad. But I don't let stuff like that freak me out. You know, I don't know if it's because I've always had like there's times where, yes, we can go to the grocery store and splurge a little bit. But I also have been in many situations where I have to be like, okay, I have $50 to feed X amount of us for this many days. So that's not a stressful thing to me. And I'll never forget Jess going, Alice, do you feel like that when you go grocery shopping? And all I wanted to say was, in my head, I'm like, I just wanted to be like, no, because I'm not a fucking pussy. But I had to like answer it in this serious way. And yeah, it was just I was so uncomfortable. And I told Adam the next day, I'm like, I thought this was something I wanted to do, but I don't think I want to do this. I don't think I'm going to be good at this. I think it's going to cause too much stress to me. I'm like, but man, I really, really like Jess, and she's just been so nice to me, and I love connecting with her. And then she asked me to be like on another stream, and like the Golden Showers when they would do longer streams back then. And yeah, I just started streaming with her here and there, and then she hit me up one day, and she's like, "If I did an all girls show, would you be on with me?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
You guys, you ladies both gel together really well.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Adam said about me and Jess the other day, because I said to Adam, I was like, well, I can pretty much guarantee Jess would feel the same way as me. And he was like, yeah, he was like, because you and Jess are like totally different, but you're like exactly the same. All right, Michael's here. I'm going to let Michael in. Hi, Michael.
Hey. How's everybody
doing? Thank you so much for my first super chat.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you're finally on Rumble. And I'm also glad that you didn't allow super chats on YouTube, whether that was on your end or not.
No, that's not on our end.
Okay, because I didn't want to give YouTube money.
Yeah, that's it. So YouTube, we can't be monetized or get super chats until we have so many hours and so many views. So that's why when we can, like I'll stream when I can. We're actually going to be streaming on Easter Sunday at 7:30.
Okay. Good.
What's up, Sir St. Mike?
I'm doing well. How are you, Sir Thick Adam?
Thick Audio Adam.
Thick Audio Adam now.
We sound much better, right?
You sound fantastic.
Fucking ain't right, we do.
Yeah, we finally got the we got the mic hooked up, and then today I had the Rumble. Oh, so this is my funny story about Paul. So I'm trying to get the Rumble chat set up, or the Rumble stream, and I said to Paul, I'm like, I fucked something up. Don't know what I did, but I fucked it up. I'm gonna start over. So then he's like trying to call me, but I'm in the bathroom. So I'm like, hang on, I'm in the bathroom, and he's like, you don't need to start over. And I'm like, I already started over. So
trigger finger.
So like he was like, you are 95% there. So we figure out the Rumble stream, we get it set up. I know how to do it. I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hook up the second monitor so we can see all the chats. They're bigger for us, so I'm not like this trying to read chats all the time.
Right.
So we get it hooked up. I get it hooked up, and I send Paul a picture, right? And then I'm sitting there and I'm fucking around, and I'm in a stream. Paul's an administrator on my StreamYard, so he doesn't need an invite. He can just go in.
I already know where this is going.
Yeah. So I'm like sitting there, and I go back to the stream, and I'm like, oh, and there's Paul. And I was like, holy shit, Paul. And like, he doesn't look like Paul either, because he's getting ready to leave.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he has his wig on, he's got a dress on and high heels. Paul's a transvestite, right?
Transsexual.
Oh, wait.
I think he's
That's
just
a
drag
secret.
queen.
I forgot.
So yeah,
Not too many broads in 30 miles in the
it
woods.
was so funny. He scared the crap out of me, and I'm like, God, good thing I didn't pick my nose or fart or something.
It was easy. The audio fix was easy enough first. Paul's gonna make a geek out of me yet. I tell you what.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it makes me, not that I didn't appreciate what Paul did, but then when like you sit there and you're trying to do this shit, and you're like, damn, and Paul has to do more
Fucking
shit.
Randy, dude, I wish I could.
Randy said
Fucking
about
Randy.
Paul, can you imagine those cankles and high heels?
Unfortunately, I can.
That's fucking great, Randy. Right there. That's fucking great.
Fuck you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Hey man, Randy's one of my favorite characters on South Park.
Oh no. Well, Randy, man, he's fucking funny. These beers are going down really quick, but then I realized they're little beers.
They're trans beers.
They're 12-ounce beers.
They're itty bitty beers. Well, I'm used to like 16 ounces. Cause
There was a time where she would get like crashed off of like 4 beers, and now like there's times where we'll be out in the backyard on Saturday night having a fire, and she'll bang down a 12-pack, and I'm like, working on like 7. I do shots.
I just love how
I don't
you just
do
said
shots.
I'm used to 16 ounces, and then subconsciously, without even realizing it,
Hang on.
impaired your breasts.
When my woman says she wants 12 inches and she wants it rough, I just fuck her twice and punch her in the eye.
If anyone tries to say we're not animals, they're wrong.
Oh my god.
Just at the
COVID
top
made
of the
us
food
all
chain.
drinkers. Yeah, Jess, I definitely
Yeah, it was COVID, Jess. Uh-huh.
Sure.
my tolerance definitely went up.
College made me a good drinker.
Because
You're
I'm
too.
Ladies' night made me a good drinker.
I've never been to one of those.
You just go to a bar that's ladies' night where they like drink for free or half price or no
I
cover.
don't drink at bars. That costs more.
Well, yeah, I'm also talking about like 05
Oh
here,
wait,
so-
that's why I don't meet people. Shit.
You were like 12.
I'm 30.
back in the day.
No, when I was going to bars,
you could get a
looking for-
draft beer for like $1.
yeah, we were talking about chicken
Okay,
wings.
so you can still do that at the Elks Club or the American
Yeah,
Legion.
you ain't gonna find no women there, dude.
Yeah, no, you can find cougars. I mean, like, wait, to be a cougar, you have to be attractive, right? Okay, you can't find anyone there.
I don't think it matters.
I think it's just an age thing.
I think if Betty's ready to,
Betty's ready.
if she wants to show the V for victory
Shoot the victory V.
for anything that's like, I don't know, like 20 years or younger, then yeah. Jess, I used
Pass.
to drink 2 times a month.
Hard
How much
pass.
do you drink now?
2 times a day. I drink in the morning, I take a nap, I wake up, and I drink some more.
I open a beer the moment I get home from work, and then I take a nap.
I drive to the gas station, pick up one of these, and drink it on the way home.
Yeah, I don't drink every day. In fact,
Usually drinking a main beer. This is the same as Bud White though. Like same percentage,
Just a
pale
Pilsner.
ale.
he thinks it's like I'll rarely drink like 2 days in a row, even if it's not that much. I will more recently. I'll do that, but yeah, like if I drink on a Friday night, I'm probably not going to drink on a Saturday night. When everybody came here though for the vow renewal, I drank both nights, but we drank very responsibly on the Friday night. Well, me and Justin.
You guys did.
Paul and Doug and Adam did not.
Yeah. I'll plead
Like,
the fifth.
I'm trying to get shit set up, and I'm like starting to panic, and then I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna fucking drink, and then
All right, first
I
mom,
may or may not have left a sibling
Over here,
revelry
there,
stream
there,
to
here.
grab a pizza very late at night. Quite animated. Notice my word usage.
yeah, Jess is like
all of my first happened at Bible. This one time at band camp,
This one time at band camp.
you fucking Bible campers.
That's where I
I'm-
learned how to ride a horse. That sounds gay, right? It's true though.
not the actual,
Bible
actually
camp was
learning
one
how to
of the
ride a
times
horse.
I
before we did.
illegally crossed the border. At Bible camp, we kayaked across the border into Canada and spent a night on an island in Canada illegally.
Hell yeah.
Jess, I was a wrangler at Bible camp when I worked there.
Wrangling all the pigs.
I love teaching people to ride. I know she's
Apparently,
you know what's funny is I know she's being serious about a horse, but she's not being like
apparently my aunt got kicked out of the same Bible camp. So first, the first time they let her back after this, she filled someone's bed with frogs. Like one of the
Oh, that's
counselors.
fucking great. I mean, better than a horse head, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the second time, she took a 2x4 to a counselor's head. They didn't let her back after that.
All right, this is actual Bible camp.
Bible camp. Yeah, it's called
What was-
Living
I mean,
Waters.
I believe her. She probably had how old? Like when was
she,
this?
she went on to commit insurance fraud as well.
Oh.
So
Probably because she had to hit a counselor at Bible camp in the head with a 2x4.
names redacted.
Is your aunt much older than you? Or no?
All of my family's okay. So I'm 30. My dad is gonna be 70 this year, and my mom's 74 this year. So I have old parents.
I have a niece that's actually older than I am.
My grandmother, my only grandmother that's still with us, I give her supper every night. By supper, I mean she's gonna be 98 this year. So don't be surprised when I say supper is a bowl of cereal usually and
So
some pills. But
Daniel,
I see her every night, and we have lunch every Sunday and church every Sunday, and still with us.
So Daniel, she's gonna hear this, but I won't get slapped right now. I got told tomorrow. When I was in high school, I dated this chick that went to an all girls. Oh, she's here with me anyway, so I'm probably gonna get slapped anyway. She's an all girls Catholic school, and man, after her and I broke up, I knew even if I did have kids, I would not send them to a single gender Catholic school. Not happening. Not happening.
Right.
Especially my daughter. So I'm gonna get slapped when she comes back down here. So we'll have some.
Well, I mean, I could try to take some of the heat off you. Does Alice have like any single younger sisters that are like closer to my age?
No, she's actually the youngest of 5, and
damn
her oldest sisters are twins that are like 12 years older than she is. And
Damn.
she's got 2 brothers, I guess we'll call them.
Oh, okay. So they're black, is what you're saying.
No, they're just barely men.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So they are white then.
Yes. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm not getting hit yet.
Sorry, if you're gonna lob me a pitch like that, I'm gonna swing.
Yeah, I'll probably get smacked for that. But actually, that chick Alice has met her. She actually came to our wedding. She let me invite my girlfriend from high school to our wedding, which was interesting. I mean, it was a little awkward. You can imagine, they're marrying, your partner for life, and then your girlfriend from high school shows up. It was a little awkward, but went off without a hitch.
Right. Well, I mean, if you've dated a lot of people, that's kind of hard to avoid at some point.
Well, I mean,
not that I have.
If we're talking like dated, count on one hand how many girlfriends I've had. Seeing chicks, yeah, it's different.
The day that and it was a day that I realized that every story my dad had told me about, this girl I dated, that just meant like, it didn't even meant that he dated them or had sex with them. It just meant like some female friend he had a crush on that gave him the time of day that day.
See, dated, like I consider dated as like, you actually have a relationship with. That's more than just, it's 11 at night, I'm drunk. Hey,
That's
what are you doing?
a funny word though, because you and me are all in a relationship, right?
Touche. Yeah, you're right. maybe one day that'll be a locals thing, Stoner.
What will be a locals thing?
Get rid of that, Adam.
Hang on.
She's gonna rewatch it anyway, so there's no.
Okay, you're getting ahead of it.
Hang on.
And
No,
then
but she heard everything I said anyway. She's probably gonna get stabbed.
I wouldn't stab you.
So, one thing that like I had to facepalm tonight, and I mean like Amit can virtually smack me on the back of the head. I never realized that you were born in India.
No, I was born here. My parents and my sister are born in India.
See how stupid I am. I even got that wrong.
Something about separate canoes is coming to mind.
Okay, y'all. I'm about to show you a hot mommy. No, I'm not. Hang on.
Ow!
Ow.
That's Jess.
Oh,
Yes, please.
Jesus.
Hot mama. I like that dress.
Yeah.
So there's a picture that'll never see the light of day of Alice when we went to Vegas.
Share it.
No,
I mean, it was worth it.
but it was. I don't know. Ironically, unintentional, sexy ass pic. Our hotel room had mirrors on the ceiling.
Dude,
But there was,
look
like-
at her. She's
there was-
gorgeous. I see her right now.
Where?
Your wife. Your wife's hot.
Oh, well, yeah, I know that.
That took 2 minutes to understand.
I didn't know what you were talking about. But yeah, it was. It
Look
never
at her.
seen the light of day. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at her.
Yeah, I was like 40 pounds lighter and worked out a lot then too, for sure. But yeah, there was some wood that was very well placed, but
Wood.
you could
Giggity.
still
Yeah, like wood rails going through the mirror.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
it acted as
I
like
was being
sensor bars.
sexual.
I know,
Adam's
Beavis.
wood was very well placed. I mean,
I know, Beavis.
but yeah, that was I don't even know where that picture is. We should probably find that and delete that.
Why
I'll
would you
fight you
even
for it.
find it in that case? If you have to find it just to delete it, it's probably better not to go searching for it.
Well, I don't want my kids to find that shit one day.
It'll be like, you guys
Fair
ever seen
point.
Weeds? It'll be like, what's his name? Shane?
Is it Shane?
That finds a picture of his mom and he ends up beating off to it. He didn't know it was his mom.
Oh yeah. Have you guys ever watched that show, Weeds?
Oh yeah, whole thing.
Yeah. What
He finds that picture of his mom and he didn't know it was her. And he ends up beating off to it.
Yes.
Uncle Andy's like, hey, dude, this is awkward.
I just always remember thinking, like, what a lucky little dude. He had 2 goth girls that wanted to have a threesome with him in, like, fucking middle school. That's badass. I wish that was my middle school.
I'm
You'll be
glad it's
right.
not most middle. Well, my
That was
kids-
in the LA area. It
It's
might have been
scary that,
Yeah.
like, that was kind of normal in this small ass town that I grew up in. Like, most kids started losing their virginity in 7th grade.
Holy shit. One of the Christian girls that
Yeah.
I went to school with, she masturbated with she did things with a Barbie doll at a party while she was drunk in front of a bunch of dudes on a table. That's why I always laugh at conservatives when they're like, see how nice our kids grow up. It's like, yeah, you should have seen the shit they were doing in high school because I saw that shit. It's one of the reasons I didn't drink. It's one of the reasons I didn't like drink at parties because all the girls that were getting drunk were just doing like wild hoe type stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to lose my inhibitions like that. So yeah, I was just kind of the chick hanging out with dudes and smoking cigarettes and listening to Pantera and that was
Respect
me.
and also walk.
I think so Stoner, if Stoner's still in here.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. So I was in a very, very funky mood today. I told Amit a little bit about what happened in the private chat before we started. But I was in a mood, man, and I was like, I don't know. I blame Stoner because Stoner brought up
Full
this
moon's
like
coming up.
about this meme, the worst concert you've ever been to, and I was like, I think it just gave me flashbacks of that concert because it's the only fucking concert I ever walked out of or anything. And I actually text Jess and I was like, man, like this happened and we found this out today and I was just feeling poopy and Jess called me and I just got into better spirits. But yeah, Stoner, I was blaming you.
Yeah.
I was totally blaming
Better you
Stoner.
than me, dude.
So I told Stoner that I would maybe tell this story. So hopefully I don't get all mad again. So
Go for it.
So back in the day, I used to go to the Ozfest, and our Ozfest were at like an open door. Were you even old enough to go to Ozfest?
One of the I've only ever been to 2 concerts in my life. One of them was Ozfest 2007. I was in 8th grade.
So yeah, you were like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
and
13,
Ozzy,
14.
honestly, it was like they had fucking puppet strings and a marionette was controlling him. He was out of it. He couldn't remember. It was when Black Rain, that album, came out, and he didn't know any of the words from any of the new songs, but he killed the fucking classics. And I got to see Lamb of God and Static X before Wayne died, and yeah,
I went to like 3 Ozfest back in the day, like when they like 90s, early 2000s.
The real ones.
So one of the years that I went is when Ozzy ended up not being able to make it because Sharon got breast cancer. Yeah. So the act before Ozzy was System of a Down. Now supposedly yes. Yeah, let me finish this story.
Fuck. God damn it.
So supposedly Korn and I think another group reached out to Ozzy and said, we can help play main acts at the shows that you can't be at. We can help do that. Well, supposedly System of a Down threw a hissy fit and said, no, we should be the main act because we were the ones that were
the Armenian genocide is the most important thing in the world.
That were coming on before Ozzy. So it turns out System of a Down is going to be the main act. But we all already had our tickets, so we go. And where we went to see this, there's a huge pavilion and then a huge lawn. And then there was a back parking lot with the second stage acts. Well, one of the second stage acts was Down, which was Phil Anselmo from Pantera. Yep. That was his side band. So we go to see it. It's on a blacktop. People are moshing. People are sweating. It's brutally hot that time of year here. It can get so humid and just nasty. Some people started passing out. One girl was passed out, and a vendor that was right by there got a bag of ice and took it over to her. Like 5 minutes later, cops walk up. You're not allowed to have ice bags here, and take it from them. Well, then the concert, the Down concert ends, and we all have to file out and go through this gated area. So we're starting to smush together. I pass out in the heat. Adam has seen it multiple times. If I get just way too hot,
I'm a bitch to heat.
Yeah, I'm gonna
anything over 75 and I start to melt.
So we're going through, and my friend was like, Alice, you're not okay. And I'm like, no, I'm not okay. And I'm just like I'm basically only walking because I can't fall because there's so many people. So they get me off to the side. Finally, get me under a tree.
At that
Yeah,
point.
so they get me under a tree, and like my friends going and getting like a water bottle and getting towels wet, and my friends blowing on me and doing this thing and everything. So I was okay. We sat there and chilled. Then we start seeing undercover cops, and like you have to understand how weird this is for this venue that we're at. Like they did not bust people for weed before. So there's undercover cops just like busting people for smoking weed. So then it becomes night. The act before System of a Down, which I can't even remember, comes on. Then System of a Down comes on. And they put these huge spotlights on us. And then they have security in red shirts walking in groups of 4, just filing through all of us. People were starting to get mad because these security guards are like bumping people, knocking over beers. One dude was like, "Are you going to fucking pay for my $10 fucking beer now?" System of a Down, sorry to say, was one of it is the worst act I have ever fucking seen live in my life.
I've
It
heard
is
this
the only
before.
time I have ever left a concert early. We were just System of a Down was terrible. Like we liked some of their music and they were just terrible. They were fucking awful. And then the security bumping into people, spilling beers, people getting mad, like you just spilled my $10 fucking beer over. So we're like, dude, there's going to be a fight and this music is terrible. And it's the only concert, and I've been to a lot of concerts, is the only concert I have ever left early in my life. So when Stoner said that to me, I was like, I'm getting mad about it again, just thinking about it. So Stoner's like, what are your favorite concerts? And I was like, Pantera and Matchbox 20. And people always find that so weird because
That's
can't.
a perfect dichotomy.
But
That's
also, there's people that I've seen that are just
means you like good drums and bass.
Mhm.
But there's people I've seen that are just kind of all out on their own. Like I've seen Garth Brooks live way back in the day. I've seen George Jones. We went to see Eric Church, which is just like fucking nothing. And I don't even like his personality out. And I kind of hate some of his fans. Not all of them, but some of them they're fucking weird. But
Bye,
those.
Shannon.
Oh, good night,
Thanks for
Shannon.
joining us.
Night, Shannon.
But yeah, Eric Church puts on some really, but I really don't
And
go.
cheers, Paul.
What?
There you go, Paul. There you go, man. Producer Paul.
Producer Paul that puts up with me.
Slante. Nazdrovia, tovarish.
Paul's getting up there with Adam for how he's seen me look. Like, because when Paul and I were talking today, I had how my hair gets like the wing ding and it
You should see my hair in the morning.
That's it. Yeah, so Paul gets to see me with the hair in the bun and just what the fuck, and just absolutely no makeup.
The headset hides it well.
That's the hottest
I
she
am
is.
bald.
That is not the hottest. I mean, if you think so, I'll stop doing all this stuff. No, I won't, because I really don't. I do it for me.
Wait, what did you think I said?
What?
Because I don't think you heard what I said.
No, I was saying,
Oh, okay.
because he's
Okay.
like, I like your hair up like that. I'm just like, it looks.
Your hair always looks fantastic.
Thank you, Michael. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Because long hair, guys, I'm gonna get a bit gay here, but guys don't appreciate how hard it is to maintain long hair, healthy long hair
Yeah.
that looks good. It'll turn to shit in 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't even go to get my hair cut anymore. I just cut my own hair.
How long
that
is your
I-
hair, Alice?
Huh?
How long is your hair? Oh wow.
Nice.
It used to be past my butt.
You ever do like Viking braids?
I do braids a lot, but never like the Viking braids just because, well, more back in the day I would do more different braids when I had
Yeah.
time and stuff like that. But now it's usually when my hair isn't a braid, it's the side braid that I do a lot. Because that's just, I like that because hair gets heavy and people don't realize that.
Yeah.
So when you put your hair all on top of your head, that's heavy.
It's why I started shaving the sides of my head and just going for that like Scandinavian undercut fashion thing.
Amit has nice hair. He's got like
I wish.
He's
I wish I
got
had that hair.
that
I think it's
silky.
annoying, to be honest.
You think your hair's annoying?
Well, I have to like make it, comb it properly and everything.
See, my dad was always very, very proper about his hair
Goddamn boy king.
and the way he dressed, and yeah, he was very, very proper. That was just like a thing back then. I know.
That was my grandfather, but they were probably contemporaries. Yeah, Adam has better hair than I have.
Yeah, Adam has thick hair.
Yeah.
Not really anymore. Like
Like,
I
If I had hair, okay, so hey, here's a good analogy. So the same thing about like me being bored with the Patriots is the same thing that if I had a head of hair that grew as well as yours, I would not shave it and
Well,
just give it up.
the thing is like my hair don't grow as fast as it used to. So even if I like don't cut my hair for a while, you could totally tell that the sides and the back are fuller than the top.
Yeah.
So and that actually I was saying something to the guys at work today because it was chilly today. I was like, I could definitely tell like the hair on the top of my head is thinner than the rest of it because like I could feel the wind kind of like blowing through the bristles, you know.
Whatever works.
For I don't know what that means first.
Or do you guys see
That's
that?
Pentecostals? I know Pentecostals. That's a denomination of Christian. They're
Yeah,
the
but I don't-
closest to like the Southern Baptists, where Pentecostals will often have those like speak in tongues and like moments where they're taken by the Spirit.
Oh,
They're
so
interesting.
right on.
I can't
I'm a
believe
Baptist.
60 people are still
We're
watching.
like the most boring, unless you look into the history, because there's the whole like siege of Munich by the Anabaptists way back in
How many
time.
read that fucking comment
Who?
first? Alice I could pass for a Satanist, but I don't first. Jeez, I mean,
I don't think you can pass for a Satanist.
just like Amit said, just because you're hung like a moose doesn't mean you have to do porn.
True. That is why I don't do porn.
That's why Hex doesn't either.
I say that shit about Hex all the time when he's over.
Oh my god.
I still find it funny that like I shared the stream to one of my buddies one time from a comedy universe, Legion of Skanks, and he was just like, "Yo, dude, who's Kid Cudi with the guitar?" I was like, "That's Hex," and he still calls him Kid Cudi, and it's funny.
Oh my god, that's funny. First, I do cut my hair. I just trim it, and I make sure to keep up with like trimming the split ends and stuff.
And first, I cut my hair too.
I cut my own hair.
Yeah, I cut my daughter's hair. She got her hair cut by my beautician at her house once. But yeah, my daughter used to have hair like down to her butt, and then we cut it all off. We just like cut it all off. It was insane. I was shaking.
Oh no!
Yeah, but that's what she wanted. She
And it looked great. I did
Yeah.
a good job. I'm not gonna lie. I did a good fucking job. No classes. None. So I'm just saying, maybe it's just more about skill and learning technique than to have a fucking degree and everything.
Right.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
I mean, really, it's about saving money.
Paul's carpet matches the drapes.
Oh my god.
Giggity.
Can you guys see the Rumble chat?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay, so I don't have to do that.
Mm-mm.
No, this
I've
just
got it pulled up.
yeah. This makes it easier for us to see, so
My
that we don't
friggin'
have to.
For the
second
ladies.
screen went down though, so I had to split screen it here.
And then it also, because what I would have to do when I would be like on Rumble with Jess during SMT and we were on Rumble, I'd have to bring Rumble up on my phone. And then I feel bad because I keep like looking down at my phone. But it's nice now with the monitor that I have everything right in front of me. It's
For me,
crazy.
it's funny. Right underneath my camera, I have a little figure of Dumbledore. So I just like when I want to look at the camera, I just pretend like I'm talking to Dumbledore, and then I'm actually looking at you guys instead of gazing off somewhere else.
Actually, a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it works. I
Pretty
mean,
good
his
idea.
hand's broken off, so he doesn't have a wand, but whatever.
So what's that guy from?
You were right, Paul.
Harry Potter.
I mean, that's why I asked
Oh,
you about.
never seen any
your-
of
I have a whole like
setup.
display here with all shit I got in Europe. This is Fabergé egg from St. Petersburg in Russia. It's a knockoff.
I would hope so.
I mean, it cost me like 900 rubles, which is like $30. So,
The rubles.
I have a Kip Moore poster that only like
but
2,000
here's-
other people have.
here's like a thing they do there. So when you go into a gift shop, you're given a complimentary shot of vodka, and just like, so you know how like here we do tequila shots with like the salt. And
What
the
kind of
lime?
vodka though? Because I like vodka mixed, but by itself that can be.
Straight. It's straight vodka, but hold on. So over there, they give you a pickle with the vodka, and so they tell you with the thick accent that you're supposed to smell the pickle, take the shot, bite the pickle.
So it's like a pickle drop. So
Yeah, it's just like a tequila shot where like salt, shot, lime.
lemon drops are with vodka with lemon and I think salt.
Dude,
But I don't drink Clear Liquid.
that
Clear
I
Liquid's
never
for
got
women and
used to
guys.
that limoncello, that aperitif they give you. It's like lemon liqueur. It tastes like lemon mixed with toothpaste. It's
The
fucking
Mexicans
weird.
bring me bottles of tequila that I could drink straight.
Oh yeah, that tequila is really smooth. That
Humidor.
Humidor.
Yep.
That
Yep.
humidor vodka.
I can't remember
Never
what the
been
blue
a
bottle
huge
was.
Tequila guy. I like gin.
But
Yeah.
just fun fact about the humidor vodka: if you're sitting next to a very tall black man named Hex at a
So,
fire, and
Most
you're
black
drinking,
man.
and you're okay, Hex is fucking 6'8". dude.
Hex is 6'8".
Damn.
Yeah, I saw the video. He's tall.
Coram.
Yeah, he's super fucking tall. He has to like duck a little bit in parts of my house. But yeah, if you're ever sitting
Hell
next to a 6'8" black man, drinking lemonades and tequila, saying, "God, these are really, really good," just stop because you're gonna end up falling in the fire pit like 3 hours later.
And then yell at your husband for pulling you out of said fire pit for doing it so aggressively.
Like
True
all,
story, dude.
like all I remember
Aggression
that
is
night-
allowed in defense.
all I remember that night is Hex and I were just sitting there talking, and just now and then I would be like, Hex, these lemonades are so good. Like,
And I
they're
can't remember which
so
one of us,
good.
but
Need a
me
cigarette.
or Hex called that she was going to fall in that fire pit.
Yep.
And we had
Did
just
you put money on it though?
No.
we had just
Damn.
dug the
Lost
fire pit out
opportunity.
really, really big. Our fire pit is like 3 times the size as it was before. So that was our first time being by it.
So your
So-
brain wasn't used
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
the memory of it. And
I
it
follow
was
the flawed logic.
that lemonade was good though.
Yeah, I bet it was. I can.
It
taste
was
it.
good. I don't know what he agrees with me.
I've had
That was
tequila
awesome.
sunrises before. The only thing you're missing is the grenadine.
Come on now.
What
I'm
are you
gonna send you a picture. Can you pull it up through Twitter?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a cigarette.
Grab a smoke, man.
60 seconds.
Start counting on me.
Puff that hard, man.
I'm just kidding. Please don't start counting. I'm trying to do something. Oh, I can just show it right here.
Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, because I just posted it. I was wondering if I did that. Look
Yeah.
how tall that bastard is, man.
Hang on, I gotta do the shared screen
Oh.
first.
He almost touches the rim of the the arch of the room that the photo was taken.
Yeah.
Oh, so you did see that? Yeah.
I'm looking
He's-
at it right now.
Yeah.
He's a tall dude, man.
Yeah. Because Adam's 6 foot. So yeah, they're I mean, you should like when Hex has to hug me, he has to like almost totally
Like when I shake his hand, like when I see him or when he's leaving, it's not like a normal typical handshake. It's like, you know, one of them like slap fives or whatever. But it's like his hand goes like all the way around mine, like a fucking guitar neck.
yeah, he's very, very tall.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, my mic is on.
So what we have another friend that is 6'6", and when they met
Fucking
Hex
stoner.
for the first time, it was so funny to see him have to like look up to somebody, and his girlfriend was like, I have never had to see him look up to anybody. He's always the tallest person. I was like, yeah, well, now we got Hex. And another fun fact, when Hex met all my friends for the first time, we introduced him as our white supremacist friend that we met on Twitter, and he was our leader.
Poor Josh. Yeah, like we had him straight thinking like the Clayton Bigsby thing going
Our
on.
one friend like believed him.
Like we were bullshitting about that for a couple hours, and then it was people had left, and it was just me, Alice, Hex, and I think there's a few people here, but we explained to my buddy like it was a joke. He's like, dude, I thought you guys were serious.
Paul, why do you fucking tell me this shit live?
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Why can't you wait until after? You made me nervous.
Sound like Doug.
Well, I know. That's why I say I know how Doug feels. Paul texts me that that we have had 320 different IP addresses have watched this show at one point or another on Rumble.
Eyes on. Thank you, people.
Now if we can just get them all to go hit that like button, and follow button.
Like, share,
Yep.
and subscribe. I got boobs.
This is true. She does.
That's what. Yeah, first the Clayton Bigsby. That's the Black Chappelle's character in that skit.
But one of our friends, was like, he sort of believed us. Like, well, he
No,
did.
not sort of. He believed us.
He did. And like
He really thought that we were all white supremacists, and Hex was like our token, like our Christ on the cross.
yeah, like the
Yep.
rest of our friends were like, they got it, you know, because they know like how fucking insane liberals are, and the like, you know, like they basically were like, oh, he didn't vote for
Well,
Biden.
Hex has been called a racist against black people on Twitter, so that's kind of how that storyline started at our house. Like, yeah, this is Hex, our racist white supremacist.
Right.
A trans person told Hex that she was allowed to make fun of him as a black person because they were trans.
Hex gets the weirdos on Twitter, dude. Like it like
Oh, yeah.
maybe they see like black dude, collared shirt, guitar. Yeah, he's a liberal. But and then he comes back with whatever Hex comes back with, and whew.
Yeah, and dude, Hex, and it's like Hex is so nice, and then all of a sudden he'll just be like, "Fuck that," and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Hell yeah.
Like it's just like the reason he got suspended one time or his account banned is this fucking white liberal dude was giving him such a hard time, and finally Hex was like, suck my dick. And then
Yes.
and yeah, like the dude was like, that's sexual assault and blah blah blah. I'm like,
Faggot.
you have definitely never been sexually assaulted before if you think that is sexual
Sorry, I
assault.
just got you a YouTube strike. I tried to stop myself, but I couldn't.
If I do get YouTube strikes, I just won't stream on YouTube for a bit, kind of like how Jess was doing. That's how I'm gonna do this. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get hours and more out. And yeah, because we're gonna stream on Sunday, because did you see that, Ami? That the dude from Rumble is gonna be crashing streams again. Yeah, we should all just stream. And hopefully, hopefully one of us will get some money. I like money a little bit. I like food, so I like money.
Right.
Fuck you, Stoner. And he also told me to jump in a fire.
That's wait a second. That's a Metallica song. That's off the first album.
I wouldn't know. Sure. I don't listen to girl.
That's off Kill 'Em All. I'm not wrong.
Yep, Adam would probably know that better than me. He's a big
Paul would
fan.
know.
Does anybody know? Stoner, do you know?
Google knows.
Amit doesn't like that stupid shit.
What stupid shit?
Metallica.
Not into them.
They were one of my first favorite bands. Well, no, my first favorite band.
I just recently listened to some of their songs.
I hope it wasn't anything they put out in the last 10 years.
No, it was older.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
probably not. Their older stuff is gonna, and I say that all jokingly. They do have great music. It's not my thing. Yeah. One of the reasons I love Pantera is I love their music and I love Phil Anselmo's voice. And Dimebag was just incredible. I'm so grateful I got to see them live. And I remember seeing them live. One thing I remember was where they were playing at, there was this wooden fence and there was like holes in the fence and stuff, and you could look through it. And I saw Dimebag and all of them. Phil wasn't there, but he like came and walked out, got something, came back, and yeah, it was insane. And I remember lots of stuff that happened at that concert, but I just didn't realize how big and important it would be. Like, yeah, when Dimebag was shot, I was just I was completely and just utterly stunned on so many levels, and then so pissed because it happened in my fucking state.
Right.
Like,
night, Jess.
But yeah. Good night, Jess. Love you. But yeah, that was one of the coolest concerts I went to when I was younger. I went to see Marilyn Manson too.
Nice.
Yeah, but and then like there was like people there protesting, and yeah. And then same with Korn. There was people protesting, passing out pamphlets to find your way back to God and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't believe in
Damn. I mean, I did feel, granted, I was in middle school and I was like, what, 13, 14 maybe? I did feel a little intimidated by the general milieu of the second stage at Ozfest. Because there was a lot of like, a lot of the shirts said like Christians to the lions and like I spit on your faith and like shit like that. And that was slightly jarring for young me.
Yeah, when I went to see Marilyn Manson, he ripped up a Bible on stage, and
Nah, whatever.
yeah, like, but I was 17 when I went to see him, and I wasn't even supposed to be allowed to go, but yeah, I went through a very, very long road with faith, and I was never somebody who ever tried to push faith on people. One of the things that like really aggravates me is, and I actually thought I was going to get like people being pissed at me, but I said how I walked away from Christianity after my daughter was born. And it was one of the best choices I ever made in my life, was to finally walk away. And I remember the moment that I was like, I don't fucking believe this, and I'm not raising my kids under this. But I was reading a Precious Moments Bible to my daughter, and I was like, I don't actually feel this in my heart, and I believe in God. I walked away from Christianity completely, and after that I never felt so close to God. I never, in my faith got so much stronger after that. But that isn't the path for everybody. Like, everybody has a different path, and you should respect that. And yeah, I'll like, there's been times I've said like, well, I've walked away from Christianity, and people assume that I don't believe in God, and I'm like, it's not. No, that's actually the exact opposite. But yeah, I mean, I was raised Catholic, and I did not feel comfortable with the Catholic religion. And then I started reading a lot of stuff about Buddhism. I read more into like Christianity. I read the Book of God as a novel. And yeah, after my daughter was born, I'm like, you know what? I definitely believe in a higher power, that there's something to all this, but I just don't believe it's in this book. But if faith brings you a peace in your life, because I truly believe that's what faith should do. It should bring you peace. It should bring you an understanding of whatever you're looking for. If you find that through religion, awesome. If you don't, awesome. If you don't believe in God, cool. I think it's weird, but cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm just being honest.
I mean,
I was
I
like-
basically agree.
Yeah, I agree also.
Yeah.
I mean, what were you raised as? Were you raised in any religion, or like a strong religion?
Hinduism. Yeah, but after figuring out all these religions are this one and they're all corrupt, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're all corrupt. They're all placed to cause divide and conquer amongst each religion.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like, well, you know, we're losing faith in God and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I think you have more and more young people that have the ability to look and read into other religions. So I see so many more people like, I believe there's something to this, and I believe it because this happened to me, or I just believe it because of this, but they're like, I just don't believe it's in a book. I remember Adam and I, we used to go to this Unitarian Universalist church. We stopped going because it got way too fucking liberal. And that was before things were like how they are now. And even back then, me and Adam were like, this is too much. But I remember a girl going up, because people would go up and talk about what led them away from organized religion. And she's like, you know, my dad was a pastor, and he was, you know, I was raised a certain way. And she's like, and I remember being 10 years old and like seeing kids from a different country for the first time on TV that didn't believe the same as me. And I just looked at my dad like, so you think they're all those kids will go to hell if they die, if they don't believe the same religion that we believe. And, you know, I mean, and like I said, like, I still don't, are you, what are you trying to do to me tonight?
Fine, I'll go get
Well, that was one of the things that made me kind of look into the other religions. And yeah, basically, I would agree with what you said at first. And not that you've changed what you said, but that, like, it's about believing. It's about
Yeah.
faith. It's not about what you believe in. And some old dude who's gone now from my church said faith sorry weed, marijuana affects the throat as well as the brain, but faith is full assurance in the heart, and that's all that is.
Go give Grayson a kiss.
Okay.
He's upstairs. So back to first concerts and shit. My first concert, and Stoner, you'll like this, was Pantera.
Okay.
Yep. I was like 15. My mom's friend took me. Her and her boyfriend were down in the pit, and I was up in the bleachers. It was at James A. Rhodes Arena in Akron. It was like an old basketball auditorium. And Sebastian Bach and Anthrax opened for him. And
That sounds nice. Sign up.
it was a good show, man. My mom made sure I had plenty of weed to go, and I didn't even need any of it. Like, I worried about sitting there in the dark trying to hit my bowl. People from each side are passing joints and shit. I'm like, man, this is cool. This is really cool. I like concerts.
Whereas when I was at Ozfest in middle school, I smelled crack for the first time, but I didn't realize it until I was many years older.
That's crazy. When I was 18 building stages, I went on the road with George Strait, and I would build stages.
What?
Oh, it was one of the. It was a cool job for the
How
experience.
the hell do we go to bed after that?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it was cool. It was a cool experience, but no, just Sebastian Bach, not Skid Row. Stoner. Pay sucked, but you know, it was a
Well,
cool experience, you know. The fuck was I going with this?
I think we were about to land this plane.
Oh, were we? All right.
Yep.
So what are you going on Hawkett there, Sir Michael?
I know it's the Tuesday of my week on vacation, so that would be the 18th.
That's correct. Yes.
We're about to land
Yep.
it. And then I will be on it as well. I don't know when. He hasn't given me that information.
The 20th,
The 20th. What day is that?
Thursday.
Thursday.
I
So
thought
you'll
you
be
were
on
already
right
there.
after me.
I didn't know it was set on the 20th. Oh yeah, I'm going on at 420.
Yeah, I marked.
Oh,
is that
Hitler's
okay for me?
birthday. Nice.
Because I marked the calendar for that. Okay, so 7:30 this Sunday we will be doing a special Easter stream. Not sure who will be on. We will be figuring that out in the coming days or so. Do not forget to watch Our Brothers from Another Mother tomorrow night, Sibling Revelry. And of course, Golden Showers this Sunday. JJ Boogie will be on, who is from Arrested Development, who I will be listening to as soon as we get off of here. I like that.
No, keep. I'm impressed. I'm wondering how many times you practiced this in the mirror today. You're doing great.
I'll tell you what I've been doing after we get off
Okay.
the stream.
That teleprompter was worth it.
Okay. So, Amit, do you have anything you need to plug?
Oh no, you guys can follow me on Twitter, which is On the Screen Hawkett Podcast. Follow me on Rumble; it's the same handle, but the Rumble channel username is all uppercase, I think. And then for my YouTube, it's Hawkett Podcast. Hawk. The first few letters are you'll find
Your
it on
YouTube, his YouTubes are in the link.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram as well, but fuck that social media site.
Amit's
Bitch ass platform.
Amit's
Yeah.
Twitter and YouTube is in the link. I did not do the Rumble. I apologize. I
That's
will
okay.
get better at this stuff, people. St. Michael, anything you would like to plug?
You can find me on Twitter, St. Michael93. I don't have a podcast. Someday I will. But for now, follow all of these good
Stoner.
people as well as Sibling Rivalry and Forest Mommy and everybody in this big family we have here.
It's growing. It's awesome. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. St. Michael, thank you for our super chat. Paul, not only do I thank you for the super chat, I thank you for all your help. I know I call you special needs and I pick on you quite a bit, but you have a heart of gold and you are behind the scenes doing so much work. And just thank you. And we love you so much. And I hope you all have a great evening and a happy Easter. No, I'm not going to
Fucking audio was on point, baby.
Good night, everyone.